So, hello again. The day is over already. That happened very quick. I've got with me here now, just for a little bit of a wrap-up, I've got Charles Perkin. Charles, this is not your first association congress. You've been speaking and moderating and attending for many, many years. But you you have a different role this time. So you've been sitting in on sessions, you can do some summaries and some abstracts. So you have a good feel, I guess, for how's the day been and what have been the key points. Has it been a good day for you?
Yes, certainly. It's great. Firstly, it's great to be back, so thank you to Damien for inviting me back. It's lovely to come back. I've been involved in the Congress for some time now, so it's also nice to see a new destination and feel a change in the culture as well. I think today's gone very well. I think we had a great start to the event, talking about leadership and the challenges we face with technology. Ironically, at the start of the day we talked about whether we hide behind technology or whether we sort of sit and never use it, and whether we rely on it too much. Whereas at the end of the day we're talking about the benefits of using technology in events. Ironically, sometimes it doesn't always work. So you need to be very careful about where you deploy certain things.
So it's the big hype, but it's got to be used for a purpose.
It's got to be used for the right purpose.
That's one of the key messages,
yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Right purpose, and used for the membership, and understand where the members and whether they feel they can use the technology. Quite often members may not feel they can use it, may not feel they're ready for it.
So what else have you taken away from today? What do you feel are some of the key messages that people have been taking away and talking about? Yeah.
It's funny, having listened to all the speakers, we seem to be going back to the traditional values of communicating and being connected to the customers and passing on the value of the price, the value of the brand and the value of the event. I think we've gone through every version of event probably we can now. And I think it's important now we go back to communicating, back to connecting with myself, yourself. What do we want from the event? What do our customers want? And I think there's a lot of discussion about that in terms of, not in terms of just the event, but in terms of the pricing. Every element of pricing, its value, its even its cancellation clauses. Lots of simple things, but it seems to be a sort of traditional, let's not forget that we are here to connect, communicate, engage, and get over some form of value, because if we don't change leaving the event, we're not going, then the event has failed in its mission.
So the basic issues are the same, but there are perhaps some different solutions now.
Yes.
Social media and technology gives us different solutions.
Certainly different solutions, and also listening to people who had challenging event locations and timings, and how they didn't let the event fail. They interacted with the local city, the local partners. They got their members to really be involved and say, well, actually, if our association event fails, then your business is failing because you are part of us and we're part of you. So it's quite interesting. You need to deploy the city, you need to establish your strategic partners, exactly how Damien has done here, just to make sure the event goes well.
So in the hard times, that triggers innovation? Questioning
yes.
what we've always been doing?
Questions, and ironically, I think in the case study we had today, it would be interesting to see whether, had all those exemplars and had that work been done without that issue of destination and time frame, that the association might have made a lot more profit out of their event. But they worked really hard and engaged and had to challenge themselves with thought processes and engagement and connectivity and communication, all these key elements we keep coming up with. And
what feeling do you get? We've had a large audience. Is it same in Estoril as it was in the UK, or are we having different people from different places? What's your feel of the audience?
I think we're getting more. The UK market is obviously certainly here because that's where the event was born out of.
Yes.
Exactly. But I think we're getting a lot more of the European market. The association, the American side is still coming across, but I think the European side is building. I think people are appreciating that this is a congress for association executives and professionals, and that's what it is about. They are there to learn from each other. So I think the market's expanding, and I think there'll be more associations. And I think with associations needing to learn more about corporate and corporate needing to take on board association models, these events will only grow.
And so, after today, what are you left with as maybe the biggest challenge for the future that's been addressed here? What are the key issues from today that association managers will have to be mindful of?
I think we go back to our keynote presentation. We talk about where we're going to be in 20 years and that model of small and beautiful, green and corporate. And I think corporate will drive innovation into potentially small and beautiful and green, so you can't do without them. But I think the world will change, so we need to be mindful that we need to be green, we need to be more individual, but obviously corporate brings the power and brings finance. So I think it's challenging yourself to say, right, in 20 years' time, where are you going to be? Where's your association going to be? Am I going to use technology? What's it going to be? And where's my members? Where are they going to come from? What are they going to tell me?
What are they going to want?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I thought it was great this morning to start with leadership. You know,
Yes.
everything starts and ends with good leadership, doesn't it?
Yes. And I think actually when I look back at my association work, actually a lot of association leaders possibly feel they're always slightly second best to corporates because they always have to go to the corporate board for finance, for money, for support. But actually association leaders are quite strong because they're driving change. And I think possibly now perhaps those leaders there'll always be a disparity in their style of leadership, but actually that leadership, I think association leaders will step up to the plate now and actually have confidence in driving more innovation and more content forward and helping themselves change.
They're leading complex structure, as the keynote speakers
more
said.
complex than I think
Yeah,
people appreciate.
and corporate leaders may have to learn from them rather than the other way around.
Exactly, exactly right.
Very good. It's been a very good day,
Yes, indeed.
and we look forward to tomorrow.
Lovely, thank
And
you.
we'll hope we'll have all of you with us from tomorrow morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.